to general revenues when they go into a surplus. And that is what the government plans to do. They plan to raise both EI and CPP premiums, the paycheck tax, right at a time when we are facing 40-year highs in inflation, all-time highs in increased housing prices, 40-year highs in food price inflation, record food bank use. This is the last time that anyone should be raising any tax. Will the government back down from its planned tax hikes on paychecks and on energy?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the economy, expectations matter. And that is why it is so irresponsible for these Conservatives to talk down the Canadian economy. Yes, things are hard right now, but Canada is better positioned than any country in the world. We have the strongest economic growth and the lowest deficit in the G7. Employment is at historic highs. Inflation is lower in Canada than the US, the UK, and the Eurozone, and it has now come down for 2 months in a row. We'll get through these tough times together.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, now the Liberals would have Canadians believe that they've never had it so good. Well, I guess if you're jetting around the world singing songs in a beautiful lobby, then that might be true. But if you are the 30-year-old stuck living in your parents' basements because the Liberals have doubled housing prices, you might disagree. If you can't fill up your tank with gas, you might disagree. If you're among the 4 and 5 families that have cut their diets because they can't afford food, you might disagree. And the last thing you would want is a tax hike on your paycheck and on your energy use. Will the Liberals therefore cancel those tax hikes?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Canadians struggling today to make ends meet, the last thing you're going to want to do is trust these highly irresponsible Conservatives. After all, just this spring, their new leader described crypto as, quote, a way to opt out of inflation. Since then, Bitcoin has crashed by 56%. A Canadian who invested in Bitcoin, according to the reckless advice of this new leader, would have seen her life savings destroyed. That's irresponsible, and Canadians are smart enough to know it.
The Honourable Member for Belleuil-Chambly.